How's it going, everybody? It's Pilot Fam, and we are back with another FPL live stream. And today, we're looking at Game Week 22, how we did. And we're going to take a look at Game Week 23, the last game week before, apparently, a winter break. I didn't even know about that. But title of the stream, Fernandes fires, doing his famous celebration. Those that brought him in and captained him were rewarded with 2 goals and 2 assists. And he could have scored at the very end, too. I'm not sure what little dinked effort he was going for. Ended up with 1 bonus point. Could have ended up with potentially more had he put that last goal away. That was potentially like a crazy point swing, basically. If you were with Ronaldo captain, didn't play in the first game, and got subbed off 70 minutes in the second game with no returns, although he did have a very important part to play in the mentality of the team, as well as for the second goal. So, swings and roundabouts there. The only reason I went for Fernandes is because I didn't want to take a hit, and I wanted to keep kind of the funds in midfield so that if Salah did end up getting knocked out of the African Cup of Nations, which last time I checked, they were doing well. They were winning, and they did win. So they went through in second place. So he will be out for this game coming up. And the next 2 games, and then he'll be back after the winter break because I think AFCON's done by then. So Salah will probably be coming in for next game week. But we're going to take a look at game week 23. We're going to take a look at our predictions as we normally do. And we're also going to take a look at our clean sheets and differential picks for the week. And take a look at the watch list, because we haven't renewed that in quite some time, actually. And potential transfers going ahead for this week. We're also going to be doing a stream tomorrow. We're going to take a look at more of the stats, because we haven't done that in a very, very long time. Probably the middle of December was the last time we did that. So it's basically been a month. And then over the international break, we'll be doing some more videos and stuff like that. And then we'll bring the streams back the week of the game week. And because it seems like things have calmed down a bit after the wave of cancellations. It only seems like Burnley and Arsenal maybe have problems at the moment, and it seems like that is lessening and lessening. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get all the fixtures played. But Burnley's going to have some crazy amount of fixtures to play, so that's going to be interesting to see. But before we start that, let's talk about Fantasy Football Scout just before we get into it. So, Fantasy Football Scout are fantastic members area. It is great. They have articles that are free on the website. They also have the members area, as I mentioned. We're going to be using that tomorrow for a bunch of different things to show, like, form for, goal scoring and captaincy picks and bad defenses and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to take a look at that. And it doesn't matter what time you sign up in, just in the preseason, you do get a 20% discount, but you get all access to all the same stuff. And they're also renovating the members area as well. It has a beta out now where it looks a lot more improved. I still use the older version, just because a little bit of nostalgia factor, but you still get the same content nonetheless. So make sure to check it out. Link's in the about section, or if you're watching this over on YouTube, link is in the description. So without further ado, let's get into it. That is the wrong one. We have to go to the FPL team. There we go. So I have to change that. That is the wrong screen. 1 moment. That should be the correct one. There we go. Yes, that is the correct one. Right. Also, CFF, thank you for following as well. So yeah, Green Arrow, we basically reverted. We'll actually take a look at it. We actually reverted our Green Arrow pretty much. The auto subs will change our rank to around 1800 or thereabouts. Not sure if this has updated yet. I'm not entirely sure, but I guess I'll just put it back to what it was. But basically, our rank is basically reverted back more or less to the terrible red arrow we had last week. So you can see down here in game week 20. You can see we were at around 1600, and we basically regained that in one fell swoop after the terrible red arrow, which kind of bounced back and did quite well there. And that was mainly due to the fact that Bruno Fernandes did very, very well for us, which is quite nice. This is around a similar rank I had around game week 16 as well. So we've kind of stayed in and around less than 5K barring one game week and less than 3K for the most part. So yeah, we've been doing quite well. And 93 points. So if you captain Fernandes, you probably did really well this week. And I didn't even have a goalkeeper either, because Guaita didn't play in Palace's fixture. That was Butland who played. It saved the penalty as well, so that could have been Guaita. But again, and then Ramsdale didn't play, as Smith Rowe didn't either. We had Ben Johnson originally in the lineup, but he got subbed off for Ollie Watkins, who was first on our bench. Start with the disappointments of the week. Probably Guaita, not playing. Alonso, thank goodness he wasn't our captain this week, because that would have been terrible. Only just the 2 points getting booked, I believe, in both games, conceding as well. Not ideal. Rafinha only getting 6 points. He could have had way more, I think. Jota with just the 3 points. Calvert-Lewin, a disappointment. Watkins was disappointing. Antonio, just the 1 assist. Could have had more for himself. And then the really good stuff. Trent Cancelo doing wonders again. Bowen scoring again. Could have scored twice at the very end. He had that one chance to get his second goal rather. And then Fernandes, 2 goals, 2 assists. I mean, what more do you want from the guy? Absolutely fantastic transfer there. That was a direct swap. Who did we take out? It was Salah we took out. Who is going to be an AFCON going into the knockout stages. So potentially some a little bit longer for some differential captain picks for this game week. And speaking of differential picks, let me bring up the tweet that we have here. I'm going to have to adjust this because I think I did it bigger this time. So let me just do something on the fly here. We'll just adjust a little bit that way, a little bit that way, and then we'll actually we can cut this part off because that doesn't really matter too much, and then we can do that so we can see it on the screen there. Lovely stuff. Okay. So now that we got that up on the screen, I also have off to the side as well the differential picks, so we won't miss out on those either. So I'll just keep those up as well. Just moving some stuff around here. There we go. Lovely. Okay, now that we got it all sorted. Not sure why I'm a bit on the brighter side. Looks a bit weird. Maybe it's just because I'm wearing a light colored shirt. I don't know why. Anyway. Just looked a bit brighter than normal. Hey Jankster, how's it going? Long time no see. Maybe is it my light program? Do I not have my light program? Maybe it's just a little bit brighter. Not sure. Okay, yeah, we're just not gonna mess with that. Don't know why I'm a little bit or looks like a little bit brighter. Maybe it's just because I haven't streamed in a while, so I don't know what it look like, or maybe the shirt's making it look a little bit brighter. But anyway, let's get the show on the road. So You missed the deadline this game week, but not too disappointed. Yeah, there's a deadline this Friday, so don't miss that one. Yeah, so predictions and differentials. So right off the bat, we did quite well. We got the exact score right, which is quite nice. So basically, the way it works, as it always does, you get 3 points for an exact score. You get 1 point if you get the result correct, and you get no points for anything else. So we haven't done this in a while. The last time we did do it was game week 16. So that was around middle of December. So let's see how many points we do get. So Brighton Crystal Palace, we got the exact score right, so that's 3 points on the board. Great start. Man City versus Chelsea ended up being 1-0. I predicted a 1-1, so obviously got that one wrong. Burnley versus Leicester didn't play. That was postponement. Newcastle versus Watford, I got the draw right, so I do get the 1 point for that, but I did predict 2-2 instead of a 1-1, although it probably could have been 2-2. Everton 2-0 over Norwich. I was definitely wrong on that one, so nothing there. Wolves win over Southampton. I predicted 1-0. There's a lot more goals in it. 3-1. James Ward-Prowse with a fantastic free kick in that one as well, although his side falling short in that one. So the 1 point there. Villa versus Manchester United. I would have came away with the win had United kept it tight and no goals conceded, but United conceded 2 in a short space of time, and it was a draw 2-2, so we got that one wrong as well. Liverpool versus Brentford 3-0, got that one bang on, so 3 points there. West Ham Leeds played excellently in this game, and I'm very excited about that because they're getting players back and they're doing quite well, but we got that one wrong. Spurs Arsenal North London derby was also cancelled. Burnley Watford was also cancelled. Brighton Chelsea ended up being 1-1. I predicted 1-0, so we got that one wrong. Spurs Leicester winning the game 1-0 initially. Then Kane equalized. Then Leicester went ahead again. And then last minute capitulation. And Spurs ended up nicking it 3-2. But we did get the result right, so we did get 1 point. And then United 3-1 over Brentford. We predicted 2-1, so we get the 1 point there. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 11 fixtures. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 results right. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 10 points. So not too bad at all for that with the extra fixture. So we'd have had 9 points if we would have done just the 10 fixtures, which is better than we did the last time we did this, which is great. So if my pen decides it wants to work, that would be fantastic. There we go. For the differential picks, I have them off to the side here. So we picked a clean sheet for Man United. Neither of those happened, so that's 1 strike on the books. David De Gea, he got 8 points this week, so I think that would probably be somewhat successful, I want to say. So I'll give a tick for that. Tariq Lamptey didn't keep a clean sheet in either of the games. I don't think he got an assist. No, he did not, so that's kind of a bit of a fail there, although he did look quite lively. Lucas Moura, I don't believe provided an assist for any of them. No, he did not. So that was a bit unfortunate of a pick there. And then Firmino, I believe Firmino scored. He assisted, so we got 1. We got 1 there. So yeah, 2 out of 5 ain't too bad on that front. So I can close that, I can close that, and I can minimize that. So overall, United conceding two late goals to ultimately give themselves a draw. West Ham dropping points. Spurs come back. Chelsea effectively now out of the title race and could be sucked into losing their 4th place or 3rd place spot. That could be quite bad for them. A lot of teams vying for 4th. Spurs have a lot of games to make up. United have a couple. Arsenal are still in the mix. West Ham could get their act back together. But the 2 things that the North London clubs have in favor for them is they don't have European competition to deal with. Arsenal and Spurs. Spurs not being in the Europa Conference League anymore, as they were knocked out because of their disqualification. and Arsenal not being in European competition since the start of the season. That could play into their hands for later on in the season. Also, Arsenal are out of the FA Cup, and they would only have a potential of 2 more games in the Carabao Cup, with the semi-final second leg taking place at the Emirates tomorrow versus Liverpool, to see who goes to play Chelsea in the final. And if they do play that final is going to be somewhere later along the line. But they don't have any more FA Cup games. They're not in Europe, and they have a potential of 2 more domestic cup games, and then it's all Premier League for them, so they can focus 100% on that. Let us move over to the predictions. So I did not write these down as of yet, so we're going to have to do these kind of on the fly a little bit. So let me bring up the notepad. And we will move into those predictions. So we should see me typing up on the screen. We can. Great. Right. First fixture, Watford versus Norwich. I think Norwich have been playing better than they have been recently. I just think that Watford should be able to close this game out. I think Watford can score at least 1 goal. I think they'll score 2. And I think Norwich will probably nick 1 down the other end. So I think it's probably going to go Watford's way, which definitely helps them out. Watford needs 3 points, as does Norwich, but I think Watford will be just too much there. I think it's kind of similar in a situation with Newcastle and Watford, but I think Watford and Newcastle are more evenly matched. So I think that's what, I think Norwich is just a step below them. So that is what I'm going to go for with that one. I could easily see that being a 1-1 as well, but I think I'm going to side just barely with Watford, just because they have a full week off, more or less, because of their cancellation with the Burnley game. Everton, Aston Villa. Manager Rafa Benitez sacked. It was always a poison chalice there, and also the fans didn't want him, because being a former Liverpool manager was never something that is always going to go down well with the Evertonians. Duncan Ferguson coming in. He was Rafa Benitez's right-hand man. He was also involved as the right-hand man with Carlo Ancelotti there. When he stepped in before, he did quite well. So maybe they could turn things around. I think they'll probably get I'm not sure if they'll turn it around immediately. I think Villa are very good. Villa are either a win or loss team. There's no real draws, but I am going to predict a draw here. I think both teams' defenses aren't as good. So I'm going to go with a 2-2, because I think Everton, attacking-wise, will revert back to more focusing into Calvert-Lewin and doing a lot better. Also, I think Richarlison will probably come back in as well, having scored that crazy overhead kick. Brentford versus Wolves. So this is going to be a very interesting one. It's going to be one team that likes to attack freely, and Brentford versus a team that likes to kind of sit in. So I think it could be a very close game, to be honest. I think I probably side with Brentford. I think they just have to take their chances. If they would have done that versus United, they would have been up 3-0 at halftime. I think I'm probably going to go with a draw on this one. I think 1-1 is probably the result. It's very difficult to score versus Wolves, but I think Brentford will get something in this one, being at home. So that's what I'll go with there. But I can see Wolves just nicking it in typical Wolves fashion. Although Wolves are a lot more of a dangerous proposition at Molineux than they are away from home. And also, Jose Sa has been doing quite well in the saves department. Has a mistake in him with his kicking sometimes, or his distribution, but save-wise has been pretty solid. Been getting a lot of points recently. Moving on to Leeds versus Newcastle. Now, this is slated for potentially Leeds absolutely destroying Newcastle. Newcastle are not very good defensively. Leeds looked brilliant, and I think that Leeds could really do some damage here. I think they probably still concede to something, to St. Maximin or Chris Wood off a set piece or something like that. But I'm going to go with a pretty comfortable 3-1 here. I think probably Rafinha gets involved. Jack Harrison scored a hat-trick. He'll probably be back involved. Bamford, if he's back, might be involved as well. They're starting to get some players back, and I think they're just missing a couple of pieces, and they'll be back firing. It's always been about that back line, personally. That kind of sets the platform up for Leeds. personally. And they had Ayling back at right back, I believe, this weekend. I think he actually ended up getting an assist last week. Let me just double check that. He did get an assist for one of the goals. So, yeah. Him being at fullback is much better than him being at center back, and he was out for quite a while as well. United versus West Ham. A challenge for the top four. United, I believe, won this game earlier on in the season, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that. West Ham. Yeah, United won 2-1. I believe that game was quite close. So this one is also probably going to be quite close. But West Ham have been in a bit of a dip in form. And I think away from home, West Ham, they can play more to the kind of the David Moyes style in that they want to sit back and counter. United will try to have a lot of the ball, which is what they've been doing more and more and more of under Ranić. This could pose some problems, though, with Bowen on the form that he is, and Antonio, who are much better finishers, not discrediting Brentford in any way, shape, or form. They just needed to finish, and I think Bowen and Antonio could hurt United. I think, though, United are starting to get the system down. De Gea is still fantastic. I think United probably just get this one. I'm going to go with a Man United 2-1 victory. I think if he keeps this similar-ish team, United should do well. I think Elanga needs to start again. I think Ronaldo stays in the team. I think McTominay probably stays in. I think that Bruno stays in. I wouldn't bring Maguire back in. Rashford, you scored. Fantastic. Probably still stay on the bench, though, personally. If Jadon Sancho's fit, I would like to see him over Greenwood and have him and Elanga feeding Ronaldo. That would probably be better. I think even though Greenwood has done okay, his distribution in terms of what he does creatively on that right-hand side, he just isn't a wide player. And in a 4-3-3, you have to be good at not only scoring goals when you need to, but also being good at your at creativity. Salah and Mane are very good at creating for other players on the team as well, as just as good as they are in front of goal. So Salah more than Mane, obviously. Southampton versus Man City. I think Man City should be looking at this game and saying 3 points, 3 goals plus. Southampton, just conceded 3 to Wolves, who aren't the most attacking team in the world. So I can see City doing some damage here. I think it's a clean sheet, and I think City win this one 3-0. I'm gonna go pretty straightforward game. Kind of game there. Nothing too crazy. I think City are just in that form where I think they've won 12 games in a row in the Premier League now. They're going to win the league. We knew they were going to go on this sort of run. Just a matter of, when it was going to happen, basically. And if Chelsea was going to fall off, Chelsea and Liverpool. And they did, and City went on that run over the Christmas period, which is the most difficult point. And look what they've gone and done, and they've separated themselves. Arsenal versus Burnley. I'm going to go with a 2-0. I just remembered that I put my predictions. I wonder if my predictions are the same as what I put for the website that I mentioned on the last preview. I could be wrong, though. Let me see. Let me double check here. Maybe a little bit more information allows me to check some things out. Let me open up the let's see, what did I put for my predictions? So I put 1-1, then I put 2-1 Villa. I guess this was before Rafa was sacked or whatever. But so these were my, so the ones that I have, I'll change them because I'll go with my original predictions. So that was a 1-1. I think probably now with more information, maybe 2-1 Watford. I put 2-1 Villa, but I think that it probably could be a draw because Duncan Ferguson, at the time, Rafa Benitez, when I made these predictions, wasn't sacked at that point. Brentford Wolves, I put 1-0 Wolves, so I will change that. I believe Leeds Newcastle, I put 3-1. I did. United West Ham, I put 2-1. 3-0 for City, 2-0 for Arsenal. Okay, so it was just the first three. Then for Crystal Palace versus Liverpool, I went with 2-0 in favor of Liverpool. I just think Liverpool are probably going to win the game, keep a clean sheet. Nothing really too crazy there. They're a better team than Palace, and they typically do quite well away at Selhurst Park. Leicester versus Brighton. I've actually gone with a 1-1. Leicester capitulating again tonight. Didn't know this before I made my position predictions, but I just think Leicester aren't in great form. Brighton can't score more than one goal, it seems. Play some fantastic stuff, but just can't score. Literally, that's their problem. Brentford is similar, except Brighton's better defensively. And then Chelsea versus Spurs. I went with a 1-1 as well. I think Spurs will get something out of this game, even though they're away from home. I think Chelsea are just not in as good of a state as what they were before. They do have some injuries still, and I think that they will do much better this week. They'll be even better, I think, than what they were versus Leicester, coming from behind. And I think that once Conte has his team playing at full tilt, you might even see them win this game. I can see Spurs winning this game. I think 1-1 is probably the most likely result. But if I had to pick a winner, I would say 2-1 Spurs. I just think Chelsea are very, very weak in the offensive side of things. Very fortunate to come away with a point versus Brighton as well. Clean sheet and differential picks. This is probably going to be quite boring, but I'm going to go with Man City for the clean sheet. Unless James Ward-Prowse gets a free kick, I don't see Man City conceding. And then you still have to beat Ederson as well, who is pretty good in his own right. Then we have goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, and forward. We're going to move over to the transfer screen and see if we can think of some goalkeepers that might get a clean sheet that could be quite good. We'll go with Jose Sa, actually, versus Brentford away. He is only 6.6% owned at the moment, and he's been putting up some fantastic numbers. I mean, most recently, it's like, so he's got 8, 10, 6, 3, 4, 6, 6, 5, 7. Those are very, very good numbers. He's also the highest scoring goalkeeper in the league currently, which we kind of were like, in the beginning of the season, you wouldn't have thought that, not doing too well. And then they didn't keep many clean sheets in a row. And then now Wolves have really, really picked it up, nicking games and basically doing what Nuno was doing before. In defense, who am I going to go with as a differential defender? Let's see. Is there any defenders I can see here that could be quite good? What fixtures we got here? Let's actually go with Leeds. I'm going to go with Luke Ayling. 4.3 million. Gotten himself an assist. Is playing Newcastle. And could get himself some more attacking returns. When he plays right back, Luke Ayling is actually very good. And a couple of decent fixtures before they play Man United. And they also have a decent run after they play Spurs and Leicester. But I think Leicester at the moment is still an easy fixture. So maybe they get themselves back together, and Ayling could be quite crucial. That 4.3 million could be bench fodder. So not the worst shout there. I'm going to see if there's any differential Man City midfielders. Let me see. How owned is Kevin De Bruyne? 10.1% is a bit high. Maybe let's go for Raheem Sterling. 10.7 million. Has been playing quite well. 3.7% owned. Yes, we all know that, might not play, but he has been playing well. I mean, look at the last few games. He's played 2 sets of 90 minutes in a row. He's been playing well. And 8 points versus Newcastle, 14 versus Leicester. I think Raheem Sterling's game has stepped up a bit. And he seems to be doing quite well in the absence of Riyad Mahrez, who has been at the African Cup of Nations. Although, let me actually double check on the... I'm actually going to check which teams went through, because this could be quite important. So standings. So any teams that might have gone home that were. So Ghana is one. So I believe Thomas Partey plays for Ghana. So I believe he's going to be coming back to Arsenal sooner than normal. Nigeria and Egypt went through. Ivory Coast went through. Algeria did not, which means that Riyad Mahrez. Actually, Algeria still has yet to play, but Riyad Mahrez will probably be back for the next game, which most of the players will be anyway, unless they make the final or something. But Algeria currently sits only on 1 point. So him, Mahrez and Ben Rama, I believe they play for Algeria if I'm not mistaken. Riyad Mahrez, I think it's Algeria. Am I right? Algerian national team, yes. So him and Said Ben Rama could be back if they don't make it through. And who is their game that they have to play? So they play Ivory Coast, who are first in the group at the moment. So it's going to be a tough task for them. So might be a shorter stint than we thought for Sterling. But hey, Mahrez might have to work his way back into the team. But yeah, we'll go for Raheem Sterling as the differential pick. In the forward line, who shall we go for in the forward line? Trying to go for a bit of a left field pick here. I know who I will go for. He scored tonight and has been doing quite well every time he's played. Patson Daka. Potentially will have a double game week soon with Leicester. 1% owned. Plays Brighton. Who knows? Might do well. Every time he's played, he's done well, basically. Even in Europa League, he's been brilliant. So I think Patson Daka could be quite good. So that is our clean sheet and differential picks. Yeah, that's what we'll go with. And we'll post those over on Twitter just now, just so I don't forget. So yeah, I mean, Leicester haven't been great, but they can definitely score some goals, which is definitely something that they can do. They can score goals. Just the defense is just dreadful, to be honest. So copy, paste. And then we got Gameweek 23 predictions and differential picks. There we go. Off it goes. And now let's move over to the current team. So we'll close that. Don't need that anymore. Right. So this is the current team up on the screen. We have got Ramsdale in goal. We have Trent Alexander-Arnold, Diaz and Cancelo. Jota, Rafinha with the armband tentatively at the moment. Bruno Fernandes with the vice captaincy versus West Ham. Bowen, Watkins, Calvert-Lewin, and Antonio. So we have a few players playing against each other this week. Not the most ideal in the world. Our bench is looking a bit light as well. It seems like Johnson has lost his place. Kind of. Sort of. Maybe. I don't know. But he's only 4 million, so it's not the end of the world. Smith Rowe is a bench player and will probably stay on the bench. I don't believe he was in the team the last time Arsenal played, if I'm correct in saying that. Yeah, he had a groin injury. Last time we played was game week 21. He didn't play. I don't believe played in their first or was part of like their Carabao Cup team. So he has a bit of a potential injury. Not sure how long that injury is going to be. So basically, we're going into this with 2 players not available on the bench. And then we have Alonso who plays Spurs, and Alonso's been, well, Alonso, basically. So not really sure what to do there. I think the transfer could be, a bit of an attacking one, actually, this week. And it could be in midfield. I think we could potentially ditch Bruno Fernandes, even though he has some decent fixtures coming up still versus Burnley, Southampton, Leeds, and Watford. We could look to organize those for game weeks later, and that would probably be more likely to be Ronaldo that is going to be scoring in those ones. But again, we have a certain Mo Salah that is still to come back. So Salah is going to be back. Where is Salah? Mo Salah. So back February 10th. So he'll be back for this game week. Because the African Cup of Nations, the final, is on the 6th of February. So that's plenty of time. They'll play the game, 6th of February. That's on a Sunday. And then they play Leicester on the Thursday. Will Egypt get all the way there? Not too sure. If they don't, then definitely he won't play. He'll play. Like, if he plays the second semi-final and they lose, that's February 3rd. There's plenty of time for him. So Klopp will probably want to bring him back in. Leicester could be potentially a difficult game. Also to note that they do blank in 27. So that's something to note. But Norwich and Burnley are definitely not going to be ignored on that one. But they still have Arsenal and Leeds to reschedule. Maybe it could get chucked into game week 27. We're still not sure on that yet. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. So some potential changes, excuse me, would be because I don't like the fixture for Fernandes this week. I also think that Fernandes, he has been playing well in the last couple of games, like results, like in terms of his what he's been doing. But I think that could be just limited because I think in normal circumstances it's going to be focused around Ronaldo. And we don't know, Pogba could be nearing a return as well. We don't know what that's going to be like either. So maybe we go Fernandes out and we bring in the likes of Kevin De Bruyne or maybe even Raheem Sterling. We have De Bruyne for Southampton and Brentford. And then we use or we keep him for the game week. Next game week we then bring in Salah. We would bring in Salah back if he's back. If not, we're more than happy to keep De Bruyne for that game. Salah would be back for Leicester, so we don't have to necessarily bring Salah back the following game week. So if we did have De Bruyne, so let's say we did De Bruyne this week for 23. 24 we kept him in as well, rolled a transfer. And then we could do Salah back in for the Burnley away fixture. And then we can also look to enhance one of our forwards potentially. So Watkins has a really good run. We probably don't want to get rid of him. Calvert-Lewin, his fixtures are good, but they'd be running out. And the game week would have been against Leeds at home. And I think Leeds will probably end up beating them, to be honest. Antonio, West Ham's fixtures start to get a bit dodgy. Yeah, they play Newcastle and Wolves, but then it's a bit rough for them. Maybe he's not necessarily worth hanging on to, so maybe he's the one that goes. And then maybe we do... So we bank the transfer, and then we do De Bruyne out for But it'd be taking De Bruyne out against Norwich, which wouldn't be great. But we would do Antonio. We bring in Ronaldo. If Ronaldo's doing well, it's just where do we get the 4.5 million from? That's kind of a little bit of the issue we have with our current setup. It would maybe see the likes of one of our other forwards dropping down potentially. Maybe the likes of, let's say, if we dropped Watkins down to just a Brozier or something like that. Potentially that could be something there. And then we have to downgrade somebody else somewhere. Diaz would have to go to a cheaper defender. Don't really like that too much. Yeah, it's going to be difficult. Normally we'd be able to get 2 premiums, but my money across the back is spread out quite a bit, actually. So be a bit difficult for us to do that. Trent costs 8.4 million. I didn't even know that. That's crazy. That's if we want to have Salah. So yeah. But Salah plays Norwich. So who does Ronaldo have in 27? I think it's a good fixture in 27. 27, we have Watford at home. So United should be winning that one. Leeds, again, United should be doing well against these. These fixtures are pretty good for United. So is that a situation where do we need Salah? Yeah, the Norwich at home fixture is probably quite good. And Salah's been so good. And it's just a matter of who am I captaining then? So I think we kind of have to play it by ear. We don't know what the doubles are going to be either. So yeah, we're going to have to play it by ear a little bit on that one. Let's take a look at our current watch list and update that. So McCarthy, we're going to remove because he's lost his place due through injury. Guaita, we're going to remove, and I wish I didn't have him at the moment because he's not playing. Chalobah, we're going to remove as well. He went off injured. Livramento, remove. Lamptey will keep. Johnson we have in our team, so we'll remove him as well. Bowen we have, so we'll remove him from the watch list. Bernardo Silva, probably remove him. I think there are more attractive assets than him at Man City. Riyad Mahrez is still at AFCON, so we have to remove him, although he could be coming back, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Gundogan, I think, is still an interesting prospect, but his lack of minutes probably means that he has to get removed as well. Cornet's been injured. Again, would look to be or he's at AFCON, one of the two. He's at AFCON, I think. So remove him. Conor Gallagher, fixtures coming up, not too bad. Has been playing well. Got himself a goal versus Brighton. I think he can definitely stay on the watch list as a cheaper midfielder. Maybe when we downgrade Jota or something like that. I don't know. Sancho definitely coming off the watch list. Antonio off the watch list. Dennis and King will probably stay on there just because of the fact that they do have potential doubles coming up. Pukki off the watch list. Lukaku definitely off the watch list. Chelsea just don't feed the striker, really. Players to add. So nobody from Arsenal. Aston Villa definitely. I think we can add the likes of Luca Digne at 5 million. Could be fantastic. Add to the watch list. And I also think that Ramsey at 4.6 million could be an absolute steal. So we're going to add him to the watch list as well. As well as Philip Coutinho at 7 million. We're going to add to the watch list as well. Brentford, no. Brighton, no. Maybe Cucurella actually will add. He's been looking quite good, quite lowly owned. His BPS that he generates is crazy as well. Burnley, no. Chelsea, no. Crystal Palace, no. Everton, no. Leeds, I think I want to keep an eye on Ailing just because he got the assist and could be 4.3 could be quite good if Leeds start to pick up their their form a little bit. They still have a couple games to play that are they have to redo or reschedule rather. Leicester definitely going to put on Madison again. Did well tonight. And Patson Daka will be the other one just because Jamie Vardy is out till beginning of March. Ian Acho's on AFCON, and Daka has been so good when he's played. He's going to be a long-term replacement. Liverpool, don't think there's anyone on there. Maybe Robertson, I would say, just because he's picked up his form recently. 12 points last game week. 9 points before he went off versus Spurs. So I think Robertson definitely can potentially get something there. Just with Jota and Salah is usually quite good. Salah and Mane will keep off the list. Man City, we will keep an eye on Raheem Sterling, who has been doing quite good for this week as well. And then Kevin De Bruyne could be someone that we bring in as well. Phil Foden, probably will put him on there as well, just because those are the three that we're kind of still potentially looking at as major investing or major investments in. Man United, that's who I wanted to check. Anthony Elanga, 4.8 million. You, my friend, are going to be added to the watch list because you cost so little and you're playing left wing. And if you keep playing well, you're going to keep starting. So he's definitely on there. Newcastle, probably not. I don't think their fixtures are that great. Yeah, they're not that great medium term. Maybe later on when they have some doubles, maybe Chris Wood, but not right now. Norwich, no. Southampton, no. Spurs. How are Spurs' fixtures looking? Not great. I would say Kane maybe, but Kane's just too heavy to invest. Watford, no. West Ham, no. Wolves, maybe potential long-term goalkeeper in Jose Sa. Could be. So we will add him to the watch list. Also, we're going to add David De Gea as well. Forgot to add him. Because he could be a goalkeeper that we might just get, basically, in our team here. But, yeah, so 1.3 million, enough to get Salah straight back. We could just easily run Bruno Fernandes out again versus West Ham. And then keep him and just see how things go. Who knows? I think in the number 8 role, he's been doing quite good. His 2 goals were very good. His 2 assists were very good. Could have scored at the very end. He's making runs from midfield, and really is showing that he's picking it up a little bit at least in this 4-3-3 system. If United get a proper DM in this transfer window, we could definitely see United step it up, I think. Yeah. But that's the team as it stands now. Gonna definitely wait till on Friday, basically, when I hear the press conference and stuff, as should you as well. So as it stands now, we got Ramsdale in goal, Trent, Diaz, Cancelo, Jota, Rafinha, Fernandes, Bowen, Watkins, Calvert-Lewin, and Antonio, with Alonso, Smith-Rowe, and Johnson on the bench. What I'll do is I'll put Smith-Rowe actually in front of Alonso, probably, because Alonso's probably not going to keep a clean sheet, and Smith-Rowe is more likely, if he does come off the bench, to score, then Alonso will get a return. Alonso's just going to get booked and concede anyway. My captain currently, it's going to be either Fernandes or Rafinha, but if I do bring in De Bruyne, I think it will be De Bruyne. So, yeah. Let's talk about Fantasy Football Scout one more time before we sign off here. So, Fantasy Football Scout, if you haven't heard it, fantastic members area. Free articles over on the site as well. You get your team news and all that sort of stuff. So make sure to check it out. Make sure to go subscribe to them on YouTube. Links in the About section and the description below. You get a discount in the preseason, but you get the same content nonetheless. It's going to help elevate your FPL game. Now, without further ado, let's move over to the big screen. So, that concludes the Game Week 23 preview stream. We'll be back tomorrow around a similar time. I was slightly late. It's going to be around 6:30 p.m. EST time for our deadline stream. I know the deadline's on Friday. The exact time is 1:30 p.m. EST, which is 6:30 UK time, because there's a 8 o'clock kickoff between Watford and Norwich on Friday, with 5 games on the Saturday and 4 on the Sunday. Most notably, London v London, Chelsea versus Spurs. That's going to be quite an interesting one. Also, a battle for the top 4 on the Saturday, Man United versus West Ham. It's going to be a very, very important weekend for those clubs as well. So I think it's going to be quite exciting. Could be a defining game week in FPL just before the winter break, before there's going to be a mass amount of double game week fixtures potentially being scheduled. So that's going to do it for this one. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And remember, these streams are always over on Twitch. If you're watching this ball here, come join us. It's fantastic. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with our deadline-ish stream to look at more stats-oriented stuff. And potentially have some more team news or like the press conference news for managers that do theirs tomorrow. So yeah, thank you all for watching. And until the next one, take care.